every game, and Archer is a real chance this evening, particularly if his performance leads the Royals onto a victory. We're a long way from that, but only 7. He's bowled 3 overs and 3 balls, 21 balls, 7 runs, 2 wickets. Here he comes again. Great timing, great timing, great timing from Pat Cummins. A stroke of a master batsman, Sonny.
Yes, it was a slow delivery, 121.4 kilometers per hour. So he got that opportunity to also look for the spot, and that's why he's hit it way away from that fielder at deep cover. First boundary of Jofra Archer. He's bowled splendidly, he's bowled quick, he's been menacing, he's been dangerous, and I know he's now disappointed at that boundary.
That's the Owen Morgan shot that often works for him and does tonight just. Whoa. Well, I think he's got lucky there. Very lucky. Tom Curran seemed to be in control and wasn't when the moment came.
Oh, put it down, I think, has he? Just burst through the hands. Worried about the boundary, worried about keeping the ball in. First of all, though, you've got to get it in your hands. It'll be 6. We'll finish the over, 141 for 5.
It'll be Tom Curran to bowl over number 18. Curran's bowled tidily tonight, but these two are now after him. Only 3 overs left. Runs badly needed here. Make this run chase more complicated than it at the moment suggests it might be. This is a good pitch here. We saw scores of more than 200 the other night in a thrilling match that ended up in a super over. Shane Warne, now he's above the dugout, not allowed in the dugout. He's in what they're calling, wait for this, a high performance bubble, and their main aim in that little bubble is creativity, looking at alternatives, thinking outside of the box, if you like. So there he is, the old master. No hope of stopping that. Morgan hits the ball deceptively hard.
He's also a very inventive player. He can hit both sides of the pitch, making a little bit of room. This is a nice juicy full toss given by Tom Curran to his limited overs captain. Here, captain, hit it, and he's accepted it. Jofra Archer also, when he bowled that previous over to Morgan, didn't bowl a bouncer. Morgan had just been hit on the helmet. You would expect that your quickest bowler would bowl a bouncer. Nope. He didn't bowl that bouncer.
Yeah, they're taking some cues, Rajasthan Royals, from other sports with the Shane Warne situation. They looked at rugby and looked at where the coaches sat and just had a different view of the game. He thought he's up there with an analyst. He's got an analyst right beside him. He's also got Jake McCrum, the COO, sitting next to him. I just thought, give him a different point of view, and he'll make a report and just look at the game without the emotion of the dugout.
Yeah, he's obviously part of the Royals' fabled story since the very beginning, when he was captain and the first IPL was won by the Rajasthan Royals in that thrilling finish. Captain and you know, part coach, part mentor, and has gone on to play a role not every year but pretty much every year since. Few people can see inside cricket and indeed see what's coming in cricket in the way that Warney can. Morgan's got very strong wrists. That's really where his stroke play comes from. He can manoeuvre the ball in all sorts of places with the levers under his arms and the way he uses the wrists just to pick gaps, create a bit of extra bat speed. He's one of those guys who's a much more dangerous opponent than perhaps you feel he's going to be. When he's just finding his way in, he doesn't look very threatening. Once he gets going, he's very threatening. Now, this is a chance. Not an easy one. That's a brilliant catch. Well done. Wow, that is not easy at all. The speed he had to be travelling at, the judgment, and guess who? Super talented Sanju Samson.
This is an extraordinary catch. Not easy to pick that ball up with that ring of fire, those lights around the Dubai Stadium. But he kept looking at that. This is the slower bouncer from Tom Curran. Doesn't quite get it off the middle of the bat. Pat Cummins kept his eyes on the ball all the way through and jumps at the right time. Sanju Samson, yes, he hits his head badly, but he hangs on to the ball. So Cummins is gone for 12, 149 for 6.
Kamlesh Nagaran out in the middle now, joining Owen Morgan. Highly experienced, of course, is Owen Morgan. And this isn't a time for too much tactical thinking. It's really just the hard push. We've got 12 balls left till the end of this innings. 149 on the ball. You sort of have to make that 170, I think. And ideally you make it 180. I don't think 180 is a bad score. Not by any means. The other night I figured 180 batting first was a very good score. Take into account the explosion of 6 hitting that took place towards the end of both innings. Rajput. And that's wise play. Got himself into line, knocked it for a single, gave Morgan the strike.
Here's a wicket once again. You can see the slower bouncer. Didn't quite get out the middle of the bat. Pat Cummins, and what a fine catch this from Sanju Samson. He hits his head. And the physio had to come and have a look at him while Cummins walked off the field and Nagar Kopti came into bat.
He never took his eye off the ball, Sonny, at any stage, did he? He was on the full sprint. Get the space he was aiming at. Just wanted that a tad finer, did Morgan. He played it delicately, like a surgeon. Bring Nagarkoti here onto strike, who he can throw caution to the wind. He doesn't have to fear losing his wicket. Safe, lovely, chipped it powerfully actually over mid-off. What a good shot, minimum effort and tremendous effect.
working hard on Nagakoti and Shivam Mavi and these young quick bowlers at the bottom of the order. They're going to need something out of them now and then. On average, numbers 7 and 8 bat between 7 and 10 balls and across all 2020 contests, but at times they are required to do a job. It's very good from Nagakoti.
Particularly, he had the intelligence to be deep. Look at him, he's deep back in his crease, giving himself half a yard extra. And he's turning those fullish balls, but not quite full enough. From Rajput, he's turning those into half volleys. Smith will be happy so far. 8 balls remain in the innings, 12 and over. So let's say 12 off the last.